Hello, the staff of Metro Minutes welcomes you to our website, metrominutes.tv. I'm Morgan Moore.
And I'm Sashelle Walker-Jones. Morgan and I work on the weekly TV news magazine Metro Minutes, and we contribute to this website. I'm one of a team of reporters.
And I'm one of the producers. Metro Minutes is a fast-paced program that includes news packages, voice-over tape stories, lively graphics, and a good-looking set.
And a talented staff of Columbia College students. Every program airs throughout our campus on Frequency TV. And we also produce special Metro Minutes editions that air on Chicago cable television.
Metro Minutes is a team effort in every sense of the word. A producer's class works with our reporters class to orchestrate each program.
Our MetroMinutes.tv website has plenty of additional content, webcasts, blogs, and special interest segments. So the best of Metro Minutes and related material can be seen across the nation and around the world.
So hang on as we take you behind the scenes.
You're watching Metro Minutes.
You're watching Columbia College's very own Metro Minutes on Frequency TV.
Story meetings are like meetings of your family. You come together, you collaborate, you exchange ideas, and in the end, you're able to reach your goals. But there is another idea about story meetings, and that is that we have to talk about critiques, we have to talk about deadlines, we have to talk about moving this show forward. The good news is we have fun in Metro Minutes, though, because these story meetings put us on the right track.
Interviews are vital to a package. They're, in essence, the heart of what the package is, because without the interviews, you don't have the opportunity to tell the story. So it's important that when you're going out and interviewing individuals that you're listening not only with your ears, but with your eyes and your mind as well, to get the important information you need to make sure that the package you're doing is really the quality that you want it to be.
The elements that I use to write my stories is basically that I want simple writing, simple style, and conversational, so whoever is watching my package can understand what the story is about through my voice and through my expressions, but understanding what the essence of the whole story is about.
I'd say one of the biggest challenges of being a reporter at Metro Minutes is really when you got to get out there and put yourself out of your normal element, whether you're trying to get interviews from people, get them to talk to you, or go to places you might not normally go to or feel comfortable going to.
For Metro Minutes, I'm Alex Petriga.
Well, after you're done shooting and you get all your interviews and everything, we have to come back and we have to edit it. And editing is one of my favorite parts because you get to take the interviews and you take the B-roll and you put everything together in one story so that everybody can see it and know what you want to tell them.
Okay, one of the most important jobs as producer is sequencing the show. We have to figure out what's a hard news hitting story, which is something that's happening here in Chicago, like a car crash. We have our lead into break about stories that's in the second half of the show to keep our viewers interested in watching. And then we end our show on a lighter note, a smoother note, just to lighten up the show.
Using VOs in our shows are very important. VO stands for voice over, and that's our video that we show during the readers. The VO really kind of brings the viewer into the location that we're talking about and kind of gives them a first-person view, which is vital in telling the story.
Columbia is adding a new but familiar building to its student housing. The Dwight, a loft-style building on Clark Street, will serve as a residence center starting this fall.
We're all working under deadline pressure. We have a very tight schedule every week. All the producers walk in here by 6 o'clock, and we make sure that all the stories are in. We're reading and editing the stories constantly for a couple of hours. It's about 7 o'clock right now, and we have to record in about an hour. We make sure that everything is ready and set to go to record at 8 o'clock.
Each week on Metro Minutes, we have a piece called Chronicle Headlines. And Chronicle Headlines is a piece in which I come into the Chronicle newsroom and I do a quick interview with one of the editors. It's a fast-paced franchise piece to the show, and they highlight some of the stories they're working on for that week and what we can find in that week's edition of the paper. I think it's an important part because it promotes synergy, it brings something different to the show, and the Chronicle, they work so hard, and we work so hard, and we all have the common love and goal of journalism. So it's a good addition.
On the Spot is a weekly franchise that really encompasses the entire Columbia campus because we ask different students all the time questions about movies, sports, entertainment, so no one can be left out. It's a great franchise because each week is a little different, but still the same to connect to each different show.
To be a good anchor, I think that it's to sound authoritative, to have good clarity when you're speaking, to sound conversational and show some personality through the camera, because the viewer is seeing you at home, and just your voice, you know, to show power and to show that you do know what you're talking about when you're delivering these stories.
Well, the art of reading off a teleprompter, in my opinion, is just trying to look like you're not actually reading, you know, which you obviously are. You really want to be able to look like you're talking to a friend. That person on the other end is who you're trying to reach out to and connect with. And so when somebody's watching, what they want to see is you talking to them, not reading off a prompter.
I am the technical director for Metro Minutes, and so everything that I do takes place on Thursday nights. I spend most of my time on this guy behind me over here switching for the shows, and when it comes down to it, my job is to make sure that everything is as aesthetically pleasing as it can possibly be. I tweak the microphones, I tweak the cameras, and if we need to be at the chroma key, I'll go ahead and put something up to go behind the anchors.
For Metro Minutes, I edit the show. I take all the raw footage, put it into Final Cut. That's what I use to edit it. You know, take out any mistakes. I add in the lower thirds, the over the shoulders, any graphics that you see, I put in the show.
The new Metro Minutes website definitely helps students to showcase what they're great at. You have a new site that has the Chicago skyline, you have their written work, and then we also have our actual packages. And then you can also click on our picture to learn more about us, which also links to our LinkedIn profiles. So it's an opportunity for us to showcase the heart of Metro Minutes, which is our hard work.
One of the things we really stress in Metro Minutes is working as a team. Working as a team in terms of putting the scripts together, deciding what stories are going to be covered, deciding the flow of the show, who's going to anchor, and we critique each other's work. So you really have to park your ego at the door. If you have a good, solid team, it's really fun to work in a news shop.
For this class, you're in a specific environment, like you have the newsroom environment with the reporters and the producers and all the meetings, and then you have like the backstage thing, the newsroom. So I think this whole experience, like put it all together, was gonna impact you in everything you do, and especially in your professional field.
It gives you that leg up before you're entering the professional environment after you're graduating. It gives you like that taste of what's to come, so that's why it's really important.
I think the opportunity to be in a studio like this, just the equipment and the talent of the students that we have here that we get to work with, I think the level is quite high. I've seen newscasts, actual newscasts, that don't have studios like we have. And so for us to be able to take advantage of this is pretty major.
Each reporter puts themselves into the show. So I would imagine that every semester it's drastically different because everyone's a different individual, and it helps that you're doing stories that you're passionate about because they're stories that you yourself pitch.
You learn so much from each other. You get to critique each other's work and find out what they think looks good, because sometimes you don't always have the eye because it's your work. You think it's good because you did it, but when you hear someone else's perspective, it allows you to think differently about it, and it makes for a better package, I think.
I think overall it's just all the experiences that we get. We have to write, we have to film, we have to edit, we have to pitch our stories too. So I think overall it's just the whole experience.
Being in a working environment with students who care, just being on set, having the resources here like you do in a real workforce has really given me the ability to practice and gave me the confidence I need to be an anchor.
The long editing hours here at the studio, how I would come in from the morning to the night, but it's just so rewarding after you see your finished product and it looks amazing. I think that's like the best feeling ever.
I think I will take away from Metro Minutes how to create a news package, how to make it interesting, how to do good stand-ups, how to be ready for news, and how everything is kind of merging together with online and television and print. I think that I'm leaving Metro Minutes knowing how to post my stories on the web, knowing how to write for the web, knowing how to write for newspapers, and knowing how to create TV news packages, and you really can't argue with that.
We hope you enjoyed this quick glimpse behind the scenes of Metro Minutes.
Our news team loves the challenge of creating this weekly program.
Don't forget to go to metrominutes.tv to see us 24/7. I'm Sashelle Walker-Jones.
And I'm Morgan Moore. Thanks for watching Metro Minutes.